A final victory is an accumulation of many short-term encounters. To lightly dismiss a success because it does not usher in a complete order of justice is to fail to comprehend the process of achieving full victory. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. Through our scientific and technological genius we have made of this world a neighborhood, and now through our moral and ethical commitment we must make of it a brotherhood. We must all learn to live together as brothers or we will all perish together as fools. Christ furnished the spirit and motivation, while Gandhi furnished the method. In a real sense, faith is total surrender to God. A man who will not die for something is not fit to live. Hatred paralyzes life, love releases it. Hatred confuses life, love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life, love illuminates it. By its very nature, hate destroys and tears down. By its very nature, love creates and builds up. Jesus is not an impractical idealist, he is the practical realist. Injustice and corruption will never be transformed by keeping them hidden, but only by bringing them out into the light and confronting them with the power of love. So long as I do not firmly and irrevocably possess the right to vote, I do not possess myself. I cannot make up my mind, it is made up for me. I cannot live as a democratic citizen, observing the laws I have helped to enact. I can only submit to the edict of others. A just law is a man-made code that squares with the moral law, or the law of God. An unjust law is a code that is out of harmony with the moral law. The greatest purveyor of violence in the world, my own government, I cannot be silent. The day we see the truth and cease to speak is the day we begin to die. Friends are forever, boys are whatever. The self cannot be self without other selves. We have before us the glorious opportunity to inject a new dimension of love into the veins of our civilization. Human salvation lies in the hands of the creatively maladjusted. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Personality is like a charioteer with two headstrong horses, each wanting to go in different directions. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. When our days become dreary with low-hovering clouds and our nights become darker than 1,000 midnights, we will know that we are living in the creative turmoil of a genuine civilization struggling to be born. It is cheerful to God when you rejoice or laugh from the bottom of your heart. Justice too long delayed is justice denied. I may not be the man I want to be. I may not be the man I ought to be. I may not be the man I could be. I may not be the man I truly can be. But praise God, I am not the man I once was. Seeing is not always believing. It is appalling that the most segregated hour of Christian America is 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. This is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. If it falls your lot to be a street sweeper, sweep streets as Raphael painted pictures, sweep streets as Michelangelo carved marble, sweep streets as Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. We must develop and maintain the capacity to forgive. He who is devoid of the power to forgive is devoid of the power to love. There is some good in the worst of us and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. Even if they try to kill you, you develop the inner conviction that there are some things so precious, some things so eternally true that they are worth dying for. And if a person has not found something to die for, that person isn't fit to live. We must see that peace represents a sweeter music, a cosmic melody, that is far superior to the discords of war. I have a dream. When I am commanded to love, I am commanded to restore community, to resist injustice, and to meet the needs of my brothers. The profit motive, when it is the sole basis of an economic system, encourages a cutthroat competition and selfish ambition that inspires men to be more concerned about making a living than making a life. My obligation is to do the right thing. The rest is in God's hands. I would rather be a man of conviction than a man of conformity. In some not too distant tomorrow, the radiant stars of love and brotherhood will shine over our great nation with all their scintillating beauty. Morality cannot be legislated, but behavior can be regulated. Judicial decrees may not change the heart, but they can restrain the heartless. We must discover the power of love, the redemptive power of love. And when we discover that, we will be able to make of this old world a new world. We will be able to make men better. Love is the only way. If we do an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, we will be a blind and toothless nation. Oh, the worst of all tragedies is not to die young, but to live until I am 75 and yet not ever truly to have lived. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit together at the table of brotherhood. Those of us who love peace must organize as effectively as the war hawks. As they spread the propaganda of war, we must spread the propaganda of peace. Unity has never meant uniformity. We must in strength and humility meet hate with love. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. Many white Americans of good will have never connected bigotry with economic exploitation. They have deplored prejudice but tolerated or ignored economic injustice. I am now convinced that the simplest approach will prove to be the most effective. The solution to poverty is to abolish it directly by a now widely discussed measure, the guaranteed income. Money, like any other force such as electricity, is immoral and can be used for either good or evil. Let us build bridges, not walls. As television beamed the image of this extraordinary gathering across the border oceans, everyone who believed in man's capacity to better himself had a moment of inspiration and confidence in the future of the human race.